Hi friends, my name is Sarah if I haven't met you before. This Vinyasa class is going to be quite energizing. We'll be heading into a couple of arm balances and inversions, in particular our crow pose. We might have time for some handstand play and headstand as well, our Salambha. This is a short form version of a longer 60-minute class that we have in our Patreon account. So if you did like the class, then feel free to head over there. We get more time to play and more time to warm up. So perfect if you're wanting to explore this asana sequence in more depth. Okay, let's begin just in a seat for a couple of breaths before we begin to move. So you could be kneeling, you could be cross-legged. Close down the eyes once you find a position. And notice the breath coming in through the nose and out through the nose. In the Patreon class, I talk a little bit about wonder and awe and curiosity. There's this beautiful quote by Socrates, which is, "Wisdom begins with wonder." So in this practice, maybe we can bring a sense of curiosity about what our body can do. And that might not necessarily be getting upside down today, but just even being here and being able to breathe is such a blessing. I don't know if you've ever been sick. Well, I'm sure all of us have been sick before, but really sick, where you can't move, you can't breathe, and all you want to do is feel healthy and able. And even being here and showing up on our mat is a wonderful experience. On your next breath in, can you breathe a little deeper into your belly and your ribs and your chest? And then as you exhale, feel these places draw inwards, the belly drawing inwards, the ribs closing, the chest softening. This slower breath as well as deeper breath is going to help us maintain control as we move through our class today. Let's take one more breath before we begin to move. Open your eyes. Let's come into a tabletop position. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Spread the fingertips wide so you've got a wide base of support on the ground. Let's move through a couple of rounds of cat and cow. Inhale, drop the belly down. Look forward, lift through the tailbone. As we exhale, round through the upper back, tuck the chin in towards the chest. Inhale to open. Squeeze the shoulder blades back, push the hands into the ground. As we exhale, we lift up, our belly draws inwards. And move through these next cycles of cat and cow in your own time, in your own breath. Maybe you'd like to add on some barrel rolls with the ribs, moving them around in a circular motion. Maybe shifting the weight forward and back, warming up the wrists even more. And then come back through center. Take a big step forward with both hands, puppy pose. Deep breath in through the nose. As we exhale, drop the chest towards the ground. Hips are stacked on top of the knees. And you might have your palms down. Another alternative you could do is lift the palms off, fingertips on the ground. Okay, this is going to challenge the range for our shoulders. Lifting the elbows off so we're getting active through the arms, feeling the shoulder blades widen. Big opening through the spine here as well as a shoulder girdle. Let's take about 2 to 3 more breaths here. If you're feeling pretty open, feel free to look forward, maybe the chin coming down to the ground. And then walk your hands back through center. Maybe you stay on your fingertips, take a deep breath in. As we exhale, round through the upper back. Tuck the chin in towards the chest, cat pose. Come back through center, plant the hands down on the ground. Walk your knees forward slightly. A couple of different options. You could tuck onto the toes and lift the knees up towards the chest. If you felt like a little bit more, you could have your toes pointed and then lift your knees up. Okay, just choose an option that feels good for you, which is a great way to warm up through the wrists more and the core. Take a deep breath in at the bottom, and then as you exhale, push through your feet, lift up. Spread the shoulder blades wide. Inhale, tap down. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, tap. Exhale, lift. Inhale. Exhale. Let's go 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Lower yourself down. Sit back onto your heels and just shake the arms out. Already starting to lift the energy. Take some circles with the shoulders. Maybe a little twist from side to side, releasing any stuck energy. And then shift your weight forward, plant into the hands, tuck onto the toes, lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. You could pedal out the feet here, dropping one heel down, dropping the other heel down, just starting to open through the back of the legs even more. The hamstrings, it's going to be really useful if we are wanting to play with handstand today, as well as our headstand. And then find a moment of stillness. Push the hands into the ground. Drive the knuckles down, the fingertips down, the insides of the palm, the outsides of the palm. Getting really strong through the hands to help align the arms and the shoulders and the spine together. Walk your feet towards your hands. Uttanasana, forward fold. You might have your feet hip width distance here. You might have your big toes together, heels slightly apart. It's up to you, personal preference. A little tuck of the chin towards the chest. You might have your knees a bit more bent in this position for the first round. Walk the hands up to the shins. Inhale as you lift halfway, shoulders in line with the hips. As we exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana, upward hands pose, squeeze the glutes. As we exhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. We're going to flow through a few rounds of a modified Surya Namaskar A. Inhale as you lift the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bend your knees, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. As we exhale, bring your hands to the ground, step back into plank, chaturanga, knees or toes, bend the elbows, come halfway. We push back to high plank, breathe in, lift up. As we exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. At any point, drop the knees down, come into child's pose instead. You can stay here or look forward. Imagine like you're striking your cobra. Breathe in, flow through a chaturanga. Then pull into a back bend of choice. It might be cobra or upward facing dog. Inhale. As we exhale, downward facing dog. Exhale. Take a breath or two at the back. Inhale, walk forward. Plant the feet, halfway lift, Adho Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Lift all the way up, breathe in. Look up to your thumbs. Exhale, Tadasana, hands by the sides. Let's try that again. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, hands down, step back into plank, chaturanga. Inhale, push back up, strong brace of the core. As we exhale, down dog or child's pose if you'd like more rest. Stay here or look forward, breathe in, scoop forward, tuck the elbows in, push the hands into the ground, your back bend of choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take an extra breath or two at the back, or longer if you'd like. Breathe in, walk forward, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Rise up, breathe in. Exhale, Tadasana. We're going to add on a little bit. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Stay here, or as you exhale, hands come down. Kakasana, crow pose. You can skip this out if you'd like. Bend the elbows back, hands shoulder width distance. Bring the knees to the back of the arms, and you might keep your feet down on the ground, or you could lift one foot off, maybe the other foot off. Look underneath the head, take a deep breath in. As we exhale, land the feet, step back, chaturanga. Inhale, press up. As we exhale, downward facing dog, or if you felt like a little bit more, elbows come down, dolphin pose. Push the forearms into the ground, draw the chest back towards the thighs. Stay here or look forward, breathe and lift the elbows, coming into your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Take a breath. Tuck the chin in, look in between your feet. Inhale, you can either walk forward or bend your knees, look forward, take a little hop. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Lift up, breathe in. Exhale, hands by the sides. Let's go 2 more rounds. Breathe in, lift up. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Use the strength of the back to lift. Exhale, hands down, crow pose if you would like. Spreading your fingertips wide is going to get you a wide base of support. Grip the fingertips down, the front of the fingers, almost like you're trying to curl them back towards your palms. You can either walk back or hold for your breath in. Maybe you'd like to try a jump back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, push up. Exhale, down dog or dolphin pose. Elbows down, aiming for about 4 parallel with each other. Stay here or look forward, breathe in. Chaturanga, back bend of choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Remember, child's pose is always a great option. Inhale, look forward, either walk or hop. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to rise. Exhale, hands by the sides. Super energizing, I know. Let's go 1 more round. We'll get a little bit of breath afterwards. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, hands down. Crow pose, last time. Your way back. Dolphin or down dog. Stay here or look forward, breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward, maybe a little hop or walk. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Lift all the way up, breathe in. Exhale, Tadasana, hands by the sides. Whew, take a little shake out of the hands. Maybe shake the arms, turn around, side to side. From here, we're going to move into a new sequence. We'll just repeat it 1 time each side with an opportunity to play with some handstand hops along the way. Utkatasana, bend your knees. Breathe in as you lift your arms up, sink your hips back. Hold for your exhale. So weight back in the heels. We're strong through the core, shoulders are down the back. Inhale as you bring your hands to your heart. As we exhale, twist to the right. Hook the left elbow over the right thigh. Push through the hands. Shift your weight into your right foot. Inhale as you lift your left foot up towards your glutes. Hug it in. And then as you exhale, take a long step back with your left foot. Twisted lunge. Couple of different options here. If you felt like a little more with your back foot, you can point the toe so the top of the foot is on the ground. If you felt like more of a twist, maybe your left hand reaches to the outside of your right foot. I know we're still pretty early on in our asana practice, so there's no pressure for any of this to happen. One more breath. Can you turn the chest more to the right? Keep the legs where they are. High lunge. Inhale, lift your arms up. As you exhale, cactus out the elbows, bend the right knee, open the chest. Inhale, come back through center, hop your left foot forward, sitting up for pyramid pose. Left heel is on the ground, arms come behind you. You can either hold opposite elbows, or if you felt like more, press the palms together, reverse prayer. Square the hips, lengthen the legs, inhale. As we exhale, lean forward. Purvottanasana. Little bend in your right knee. Try not to lock the right knee out. Let's take one more breath here, lifting the elbows up towards the sky. Keep low in the upper body. We transition to the left, turning your feet around, eventually making our way into pyramid pose at the back of the mat. So right toes are now on the 45, left toes to the back. Lean over your front leg. Let's go one more breath. Hands could always come down to the ground for support along the way. Bring the hands in front of your left foot. Standing splits. Breathe in. Right toes sweep high. Hold for your exhale. Take another deep breath in. As we exhale, bend your left knee. Tap the right knee towards the left calf. Maybe a little bit lower on the left leg towards the ankle. Inhale, lift the right foot up, standing splits. Option with the hands off. Exhale, bend the left knee, tap. One more time, breathe in, lift up. Exhale. Standing splits one more time, lift up, breathe in. This time, if you want to, handstand hops. Plant the hands down. Step your left toes back a little bit. Bend your left knee, look in between your hands, and you're going to push through your left foot, lifting your right foot up. Doesn't have to be super big here. Just a couple more times if you want. Again, we haven't done too much warming up, but it's fun to play. Eventually, let's meet both feet together, toe stand. Heels are off the ground, sink your hips down to your heels, lift your chest up. We're facing the back of the mat here. Inhale, lift your arms above your head. As we exhale, rise to standing. Heels are still lifted. Inhale, can you reach up a little further? As we exhale, Tadasana, mountain pose, heels down. Okay, let's try that sequence one more time on the other side. Utkatasana, breathe in as you bend your knees, hips back, lift the arms up. Exhale, hold. So we're strong through the glutes, squeezing them slightly, shoulder blades down the back. Inhale as you pull your hands to chest. As we exhale, hook the right elbow over the left thigh, pull the heart space towards the center of the thumbs. Look down to the ground, breathe in as you shift your weight into your left foot, squeeze the right heel into your glutes. As you exhale, take a long step back with your right toes into your prayer twist. Now remember, you can either keep your back toes tucked. If you felt like a little bit more, untuck the toes. One more option with the twist, right hand can come down to the ground, aiming to be in line with the left foot. Maybe your left hand reaches to the back of the mat. Turn the chest towards the left. Can you roll your left shoulder back? One more breath. Make your back leg really long here. Stay low on the legs. Inhale as you lift your arms above your head. As we exhale, bend the elbows, open the chest, find your back bend. Hop your right foot forward slightly, breathe in, hands come behind the back. Purvottanasana, exhale, fold forward. So you're thinking left hip back, right hip forward, trying to find length down the back of the left leg, calf muscles, hamstrings. Stay low in the upper body. We transition our weight around the mat until now our right toes are facing forward, left toes are facing the 45. One more breath here. Release the hands to the ground, standing splits. Inhale, left toes sweep high. Hold for your exhale. Take another deep breath in. Can you lift it up a little higher? As you exhale, bend the right knee, left knee to the back of the leg. Maybe the calf, maybe a little lower. Option, no hands. Inhale, lift up. That's going to challenge your balance. Exhale, tap. Maybe lifting the chest higher. One more time. Breathe in, lift up. Exhale, tap. Standing splits, breathe in. Maybe you stay here, or little handstand hops. Shuffle your weight back into your right toes. Spread the fingertips wide. Bend the right knee, breathe in. And then as you hold your breath, you start to kick. Eventually finding toe stand. Both feet towards each other. Gosh, it's fun moving upside down, isn't it? Might feel quite clunky. And that's why we introduce curiosity. Lift your arms up, breathe in. Exhale, slow rise up to standing. Keep the heels lifted, inhale. Lift all the way up, squeeze the glutes. As we exhale, Tadasana, hands by the sides. Okay, from here, let's make our way down. Just simply hands down, shuffle back. We will have a go with our Salamba Shirshasana. Now, again, as I've mentioned before, we haven't had a huge amount of time to prep. So if it feels clunky or just uncomfortable, unsafe for you, absolutely skip it out. An option that you can do is puppy pose. Okay. For anyone who did want to try, how you'll set it up is bringing elbows to the ground. You want to bring the hands to the outside of the elbows and then reach your hands forward. That's going to create a triangle, which means that you're in the most supported position. You'll interlace the fingertips and then bring the head down to the ground, the crown of the head. From here, you'll tuck onto the toes, lift the hips up. Okay, and you want to keep walking your feet forward so that your hips are lifting as much as you can. That's why having long hamstrings can help with this. From here, you might lift one foot up into your glute, one knee to chest, and then lift the other knee up. So coming into this tuck position, you're lifting your shoulders away from the ears, and then from there, you can lift one foot up, maybe the other foot up. Shirshasana, headstand, really great way to energize the body as well as the mind. And then when you've had enough, just coming down. Again, that might not look like you today, but it could. Feel free to pause the class as long as you'd like so you can play with that. If you do practice that, then just make sure that you have some rebound time. Maybe that's in a seat or in child's pose or lying down on your back, just so that you can let the neck decompress. It can bring a lot of pressure into the head and the spine. So I just want to give some time to slow down. I'll also show you something that we do on our Patreon class for those who are interested, and it's moving from a tripod headstand into a twisted crow. Now, we didn't really get time to go over twisted crow today, but that's a fun little thing to try. For those who were curious about seeing that happen, what you'll do is that you'll come from crow pose At least I find this is the easiest way to transfer into tripod headstand. You'll come down top of the head, so remember that triangle. When you land your head, you want the head to be at the top. You'll push through the hands, making sure the elbows are stacked on top of the wrists. Engage your core, and then lift yourself up. Now to come into your twisted crow from here, you'll turn your knees to one elbow, trying to get the thigh on the top of the arm, and then you'll lift your head up. Going from there. It's a really fun one to play with because it's very challenging for the core and the arms, the upper body. But it's all baby steps, right? This has taken me years to figure out in my body. And maybe that's the same with you as well. Okay, my friends, let's head on to our back. We're gonna cool down pretty quickly. So, Shirshasana is known as the king of asanas. Savangasana, shoulder stand, is known as the queen. Okay, it's very cooling, helping us to ground our energy. So you can start with your feet up. If you had a wall close by, you could absolutely bring your feet up a wall if you didn't want to go into shoulder stand. If you did, bring your hands by your sides. You will push the hands into the ground, lift your hips up, and then hands will come behind the back of the hips. Chin tucks in. You might be in a zigzag shape, like a lightning bolt. That's a great place to start. And then eventually, as you feel more confident, you could lift your feet up towards the sky. A little squeeze of the glutes, trying to create a long line between the feet, the legs, all the way down to the shoulders. Just staying here for 5 or so breaths. Eventually, you might head into Halasana. Halasana, plow pose. That's taking your feet up and over the head. With these asanas, you might notice quite a big stretch or sensation down the back of the neck, the spine, the hamstrings. If it ever gets painful, release. Okay, come back out. I just want to make sure that we're quite careful with these positions. Hands could still stay on the back in Halasana. If you can touch the feet down, feel free to interlace your fingertips, reach the knuckles to the front of the mat, walk your shoulders underneath you. Let's go 1 to 2 more breaths. And then slowly making your way down. Before we head into Matsyasana, fish pose, let's bring the knees on top of the hips. Inhale. As we exhale, drop both knees over to the right for a twist. If you also wanted to do one leg, then you can just extend your right leg out long. Bit more range with the spine that way. Inhale, come back through center. As we exhale, drop the knees over to the left. Right arm extending out, maybe left arm around the right leg. And come back through center. Matsyasana, fish pose, great way to open through the front of the neck and the chest. You might have your legs out long. Bring your hands around the sides of the legs, clasping onto your thighs. You'll push your elbows down, lift the chest up, bring the top of the head on the ground, looking behind you. And then unwinding coming back down onto our backs. If there are any final movements or wriggles you'd like to take before Shavasana, go for it. Otherwise, let's land in whatever position feels good for us to rest in. Tuck the chin in, close the eyes. Let the body be heavy, the breath be slow. And just bringing your awareness back through center. Noticing the breath, noticing the body. I'll leave us here in Shavasana. If you did have a little bit more time to spend here, go for it. Otherwise, I look forward to moving and breathing and learning and being curious with you again sometime soon, whether that's here on YouTube or on Patreon. And we'll see you again next time.